So pranams, welcome, स्वागत है सबका. Today's session, clarity session. अगर कोई प्रश्न है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. I think I've got two questions here that came on WhatsApp. भैया, yesterday's session was very enlightening, bringing into light how our own light and dark aspects are reflected to us in our interaction in life. Can you put a little more light on how once becoming aware of our own darkness, one can transform or transmute it? I would be obliged if this could be explained. It's a very simple phenomena. The moment you shift into awareness, what happens is automatically the mind is unclutched. Automatically, you don't have to put any efforts there. So it's very simple. If you live more and more in awareness, it simply means you're living less in the mind. Let's say you are 60% in awareness, the 40% you're in the mind. This will keep fluctuating all the time depending on your worldly needs. Suppose you are in the office, you are in the world, and you need to do some intense work, then maybe your awareness is not so high, deep. It might be just superficial awareness. You might have, let's say, 10% awareness or 20% awareness, and 80% you're in the mind because the mind wants to focus and constructive, it wants to do a constructive work. Okay, now when that happens, you are more in the mind. This whole process of shifting into awareness, what I'm trying to share and teach is that this will keep fluctuating. It's not going to be very stable. It's not going to be like 100% awareness or 50%. It's going to keep moving up and down depending on your task, how much you need to process your mind. The whole idea is to come to that state that when the mind is not needing, switch off, move, move into awareness, shift into awareness, and remain there. That's what I'm trying to say. Beyond the mind, logic, ego, there is another free realm, the space of bhava. That's called the space of love. Ego and love, they're opposites. Either you're in a state of love. Love is not what I'm talking about, the normal love that we talk about. I love this, that. It's not specific, it's unspecific. That's the zone of unconditional love where there are no conditions attached. And it's a feeling, it's a vibration. It's a high state of vibration, actually. Whenever you are in those states of vibration, it doesn't mean you are going to be all in love and you are only talking lovely words and all that. No, it doesn't mean that. It's a space of silence, it's a space of blissfulness. It is a space of peace. It's a space of contentment. Whenever we are contented, we are happy. We are peaceful. Whenever we are peaceful, we are happy and contented. Whenever we are happy, we are peaceful and contented. Whenever we are contented, we are peaceful and happy. It's all interrelated. So that space is the space of love. That space is the space of unity, oneness. It's oneness. In that space, you cannot experience diversities. भेदभाव नहीं रहेगा. Yesterday we were telling, no, वो flaws देखो, ये देखो, वो देखो. That will not happen. That will come only when you are the mind ego. Too much of logic will start then. Then you become very logical. हर एक चीज को नाप तोल के, every shabd, every word you will be weighing, going by the weighing scale. Every sentence you will be trying to catch what is there in it. Every behavior, every person, every object, every place, anything you look at, you are looking with the eye of scanning. You are all the time in some very, it's a stressful state actually. People think it's very nice. No, it's a very stressful state. You get fagged out. ऐसे लोगों को देखो, आप थके ही रहते हो, कभी मन थका रहता है बिकॉज ऑल द टाइम द माइंड इज चर्निंग थॉट्स बिकॉज योर माइंड हैज टू बी एक्टिव टू कीप जजिंग दिस वर्ल्ड. To keep evaluating every single thing that you're doing, you have to be on high guard. And your mind is busy in safeguarding itself. And what I'm talking, that's on to hell with all these things, nonsense. Who has the time to sit thinking? Who has the time to sit analyzing things? Go over it, bindas. You be free. You use the mind and logic only when it is utmost needed. Like if you're in danger for your security, you need your mind. You cannot say, no, let me be in love. No, you must have that awareness of when to use this mind and when to give it off. So it's called the switch process. I want to teach this switching process. It's a very powerful process because it helps you switch in and out of this world. You switch on your mind, you are in this world, samsara. Moment you don't need it, you switch off. Takshan, you're out of it. That is why I keep demonstrating this purposefully. One day I'm singing, one day I'm dancing, one day I'm laughing, one day I'm freaking out, one day I'm eating, one day I'm with friends, one day I'm sitting with boozers, one day I'm talking bullshit. And at the same time, I'm managing my spirituality, I'm in peace, I'm into samadhi, I'm into reading, I'm into contemplation, I'm doing my sessions, I'm having retreats, or teaching others. It's possible. Why it's not possible? That's the switch. Alternating between these two worlds. That's very important. That's needed. Then you can function very easily. Naito, you'll be stuck. If you come with that spiritual mind into this world, you will get fatigued. You will not like it. You'll want to run away from here because you are spiritual now. Spiritual people run from the world. They cannot handle it. Too much for me. They will sit in the cave of their rooms forever. It is escapism. Like few of us escape to the Himalayas, few of us escape to islands, few of us escape to the mountains, into the forest. Why? Because it's a noisy world. We have not understood that switch. We cannot switch off because in this world, if you keep the mind on, you are going to have a big problem. That's the problem. If you do not know to switch on and you're in this world and your mind is active, your logic is active, and everything you're scanning, what are you going to get from this world? Stress के अलावा और क्या मिलने वाला है यहाँ? All the time we are evaluating people. We are scanning through friends. We are scanning through loved ones. Always on guard. Always judging. Having opinions. क्या मिलने वाला opinions लेके? This one is that way. That one is that way. This one has a vested interest. That one is the good one. क्या मिलने वाला? What are we going to get in that? Yesterday I was stressing the same thing. If you remain in that, totally guarded, fully logic, fully in the ego mind, then you will only see that aspect in others. You cannot laugh. You'll be very damn constipated, serious with everything. You will have trouble with every single person. You will have something to complain about everybody because everybody has got a flaw. Everybody has got a dark side. So if I am on the dark side, I will see only dark, my frequency. But if I go above this mind and remain in the state of love, what I'm telling you, know, cheerfulness, happiness, blissfulness, freedom, peace, content, choose there, shift into that awareness. Because shifting into awareness means mind is dropped. We have done those practices, right? Any practice you do, awareness practice, whenever you're doing, you'll see mind is not active. Thoughts in here. So remain as much as possible, remain thoughtless. So one process while people think that I can remain thoughtless is they will shoo away the thoughts. I don't need these thoughts. And in that, they stress out. People become victims of their own thoughts because those who keep on analyzing all the time this world, naptol ke, they end up analyzing themselves also. And then they are so frustrated. Because by the end of the day, you know that you have wasted your time and you have a headache. And somehow, subconsciously, you have only evaluated the kutarka in this world. You have only activated kutarka in your loved ones. You miss the opportunity to have conversations because you saw negativity. You miss the opportunity to be with friends and have a good time. With friends also, we are doing the same only. Kutarka. We're talking only about the negative aspects of life, discussing the negative aspects of life. Can we think of that moment where we have sat with friends and only talked about the good things and just ignored the rest? Your friend wants to talk something about this crap world and some crappy topics, and you say, forget it, yaar. Chalo jumte hain. You sing a song or you crack a joke, and the whole thing lightens up. What is the use of wasting time in that? So everywhere we go, if we remain in that darker side, we have the consequences of that. By the end of the day, subconsciously, we know I haven't done a peaceful job with myself. And I will question myself. Despite all the spiritual practice and blah, 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 what I do, why am I still not at peace? Why am I still not happy and cheerful and contented? Contentment in here. Contentment will become a big guilt trip for you. Because what will happen with contentment? Contentment means full day we are chasing something or the other. See this pattern. Something or the other you're chasing. Why do you chase? You chase because you're not contented where you are. Not contented. Contented. You're not, for example, if you're sitting quietly, can you be with yourself? Or do you need hundreds of things like the mobile and TV and friends and books and movies and sceneries and thoughts and dreams and sleep and food, and these are all distractions because you can't sit quiet whole day. We need something or the other, something or the other. That is a clear indication I am not at peace with myself because I'm not contented. There is lack of contentment, so I'm chasing things. You might say I'm not chasing the world, I don't need anything, I'm in my room whole day, but in the room what you're doing also matters. Mind is chasing, body might not be chasing. When it goes out, the body and mind is chasing. When inside, the mind is always chasing. Chase is always there. So when the chase is there, tiredness is there, fatigue is there. And the chase is an indication subconsciously, that I'm not contented somewhere. There is no peace for me. With something is incomplete in my life. That will be a botheration. You might not see it. You might not understand it because you fail to be aware and conscious and study yourself. So you'll not understand it. There will be a restlessness, a subtle restlessness vibration all the time, morning, evening. You are not able to catch what is that. You don't know where it is coming from. It's coming from this. The inability to be peaceful at any given moment. Why? Now you can investigate. Why am I not able to be peaceful at any given moment? Because my thoughts are running. Whenever thoughts are running, how can be at peace? चंचल मन से किसी को भी शांति नहीं मिलता. मन निश्चल ही होना ही पड़ता है. Now the next question comes, why is the mind chanchal? This is how we must investigate. ये साधना तपस करते रहने से कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला जिंदगी सुबह शाम. You have to investigate and find out those root causes from where the question of sadhana also arises. Why this question of sadhana is coming? Can't I remain free without sadhana also? Because your sadhana also is giving you a restlessness. You don't do one sadhana a day, you can't sleep. Something will keep bothering you. I didn't do my sadhana because that has become a belief now for you. So we must investigate all these things. Are we screwing up our lives and minds with all these conditions, unconscious conditions? So that way, when we slowly enter into this realm of awareness, you get more chances to look and study your own mind. It is better, dear ones, I'm telling, to study our own flaws than spending so much of research and doing psychology and Googling and discussing with friends about others. Better than analyzing others' flaws, it is better we sit back and analyze my own flaws. I'm telling, the moment I rise above my flaws, others' flaws also will disappear. If I remain in my flaws and I count the flaws of others, there will be infinite number of flaws. You will never be at peace with whomever you interact in this world. Everybody is going to be with some flaw. You will never get a flawless person. And then that is another stress. दुनिया में कोई flawless perfect है ही नहीं बंदा. Because we have not understood the nature of this world. Nature is chanchalta. प्रकृति है, नेचर इज देयर, सृष्टि है, चंचल ही है. चंचल यानी कि गुण है, सिंपल सा फैक्ट है. बट नो, वी हैव नॉट अंडरस्टूड दिस साइंस. चंचल वर्ल्ड में हम निर्गुणता ढूंढ रहे हैं. कैसे मिलेगा? समझो, वेर एवर इट देर इज मूवमेंट, मूवमेंट मीन्स गुणा. व्हाट इज गुणा? एट्रीब्यूट. व्हाट एट्रीब्यूट्स आर देयर? सतो गुणा, रजो गुणा, तमो गुणा. रजस is activity. Activity, movement. That is rajas. How can you find nirguna where there is movement? ये पूरा सृष्टि में movement है. Anything, anybody, whatever moves has rajas, and whatever moves is not at peace. That includes your mind. Your mind is moving all the time. It is not at peace. It cannot be at peace. So it is stupidity to say, let me find peace in my mind, and the mind is constantly moving. Mind moving means what? Thoughts are moving in it. So one way is, let us do tapasya and shut this down. That's your wish. Try it. It's very difficult. The other simple techniques I'm teaching is shift into awareness. Whenever you shift into awareness, you'll see suddenly the thoughts drop. They vanish. कितना easy है, कितना simple है. So you live more in awareness means what I'm trying to tell, what I am trying to convey when I say live more in awareness, indirectly I'm saying live less in the mind. I won't say otherwise. I will not say live less in the mind. Then you'll ask, then if not in the mind, where will I go? Because awareness has to go somewhere. Your awareness has to settle down somewhere. Now you're telling, take off your awareness from the mind. Then what will I do with this awareness? Become aware of itself. Become aware of higher things. There are subtle aspects. There are Prithvi, Jala, Agni, Vayu, Akasha. You see in this line, gross to subtlest. How hard is Prithvi? It becomes fluid by Jala, and then that rigidity, that solidity also moves into fire. No solidity also, weightless. But fire can be seen also. तो वो भी गया. अगर ये बन गया वायु. It becomes wind, air. How subtle it has become, invisible भी हो गया, दिखाई भी नहीं दे रहा. And Akasha, you can't even feel. Vayu, at least you are feeling. Akasha, you can't do that. Subtlest. Awareness को घुमाओ इस पे. Prithvi means Bhutakasha. This world, solidity. Chitta Akasha is there, that's your mind, space. Yeah, that is better. You can look at the Bhuta Akasha, the physical world, physical space. You have a body, physical body made of Bhuta, Panchamahabhuta. Outside world made of Panchamahabhuta, Bhuta Akasha. What you do is you put your awareness in the Akash Tattva of this physical world. Because this physical world, Bhutakasha, has these five tattvas. It has the so- soil, it has water, it has fire, it has air, and it has akasha. Now take your awareness from all the physicality. When you, instead of looking into people, into the gross objects, you become aware of the space between. Like right now, you're looking at me on the mobile or the device. The device is a solid thing. Around you, many solid things are there. Just shift your awareness between the solidities. You become aware of what is there between you and me. Suddenly you'll see there is a space in, you became aware of the space. Till now, you were you aware? You are not. Why? Because you are on the sthula. This is awareness. By default, it remains on the sthula. It remains on the solidity. It remains on the prithvi, jala, agni, vayu. You become aware of the air between last two tattvas. There is air in between you and this mobile or around this physicalities, or there is space. The moment you become aware and study the space, investigate the space, enter and feel the space, experience the space, scan the space, interrogate the space, do it, and you'll see what will happen. Suddenly your thoughts drop. Simple. So that's what I am simply trying to share here. Remove your attention. Mind by default it is on the physicality. Why? Because my eyes is open, it will run behind objects and things. That's the nature of the mind. Ankhula, it will run. But with the eyes open, I can shift into awareness. So even though the eyes are looking at something, then you're looking into the space. Suddenly you'll see the objects will become blurred. You look at the mobile right now. I am clear. I am looking clear. Now just become aware of the objects around you. All the things around by not looking like this. Keep your eyes on your cell phone, but become aware कि इस कमरे में और भी कुछ चीजें हैं. There are other things also in this room. There is air in this room. There is space. Become aware of everything very delicately, and suddenly you'll see the mobile is becoming blur. I am becoming blur, isn't it? If I am becoming blur, you are getting into awareness. If I am still clear, you are focused. You are not in awareness. If I am clear in front of you, you will be judging me. You might look at my specs. You might look, ये क्या लटका हुआ है? ये क्या पीछे लगा हुआ है? What is he saying? You might analyze all these things. But if you move in between the space, I will become blur. गया ना? The moment any object becomes blur, your brain is not catching it. Your mind is not catching it. It cannot focus on it. That's how it loses focus. It loses judgments. It loses all logic. Are you getting it? That's shifting into awareness. So the more you live in awareness, the less you are in the mind automatically. The less you are in the mind means less you are having thoughts. So coming back to your question, how will this eradicate? It will eradicate because what you're doing, if you're in your mind, you are flowering it, you are watering it, you are giving it fertilizer, you are fueling it. You are simply fueling it. Everything you're fueling. So if you remain in awareness, you are simply not watering it. Now, if continuously you remain in awareness, you cannot fuel it. And if you cannot fuel it, you don't nourish it. So these tendencies of the mind becomes less and less powerful. In simple words, you're starving it. You're starving this habits, you're starving this capability of the mind. And in the process, what you're doing, you're saving fuel, you're saving prana. अनवांटेड थॉट्स में जो खर्च हो रहे हैं फालतू के, you're saving. That becomes useful for your mind and body now. That is how, when you live in awareness, there is so much of energy. You come to our retreats, you'll see it. You might sit in one place for hours together, but you're full of prana. You can run around the whole day, still not be tired, hardly any sleep. 3 to 4 hours also, you can sleep nicely. For me, I hardly sleep like 3.5 hours to maximum 4 hours in retreats. Here, I might sleep more. Retreats, I can't. The days I do webinar, Sundays, night को नींद नहीं आता. Whole night I'm like an owl sitting. Sometimes 4, 5. I don't get sleep. Because in the webinar I'm so connected. Full being is nourished. That's the power of prana. That's the power of awareness. भूख कम लगता है. You eat less. See in the retreats how less people eat. Even though you have all the kind of delicacies, you can't eat. First day you'll eat, second day you'll eat, third, fourth day you'll start diminishing. In Ganesh Puri, when we were doing retreat, I don't know, many of them were not eating. Like somebody had morning juice and the next day morning they had juice. भूख ही नहीं. Why? Because you are not wasting your precious energy in all the faltu things. Thought wastes a lot of energy, I'm telling you. जितना यहाँ खर्च होता ना खोपड़ी में, कहीं खर्च नहीं होता. Then your physical movements. Look at a person who's in awareness. He or she will walk in grace, talk in grace, live in grace. Bare minimums. Look at their body languages. Are they jerky? Are they moving? Are they shaky? Or are they graceful? Look, observe, you'll see. Your own self you see when you're in awareness. You'll be very graceful. If you sit at one place, you'll not move. You save energy there. You look at me in webinars, 8 hours we are sitting, right? I don't move. I don't get for a break. Posture also will be the same. In webinars or retreats also you see. What I am saying is, at that moment, the requirement for the body to move is very less because the mind is not working. Mind chanchal to sharir chanchal. Simple. Body moves because of the mind you. If the mind doesn't move, the body cannot move. That is why many of you, while you're doing sessions with me, the moment you become deeply aware, suddenly first you'll see your eyes closing, your spine straightening up. Nobody is giving command. I don't tell people sit straight, take a deep breath, sit in Padmasana, hold this mudra, gently close your eyes. जरूरत ही नहीं है. We just start with become aware, and within 2 to 3 minutes you'll see suddenly the body has gone into silence. Body cannot move, as though something body has got locked, freeze, frozen. Mind has got locked. And how much ever you tell people, I have told so many times, because I try to teach people open eye meditation. I tell don't close your eyes, but people can't. They will close their eyes. That's okay, but you must master with your eyes open. Few of them do that. They can sit with their eyes open. Some of them don't even blink. These are masteries where you must understand the Jagrat Sushupti Avastha. In the Jagrit, the Sushupti, meditativeness, Samadhi with eyes open. पहले यहाँ ध्यान दो. मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ तो ध्यान दो. पहले ये तो सीखे हम यहाँ हाउ टू बी इन अवेयरनेस वेयर यू आर इन द हाउस एटलीस्ट. टेम्पल तो कोई भी अवेयर हो जाएगा. दैट प्लेस इज वाइब्रेंट because they are worshipping that place. No god is coming from there and sitting there. It is science, my dear. Agam Nigam Shastra hai ye. Science and the science of temples and all that. Are I'm telling you, this is your temple. Forget all the temples. भूल जाओगे, कहीं हिलने की जरूरत नहीं है. बॉडी इज योर टेम्पल. We have done 2 3 webinars on this, right? Start worshipping this as a temple. This temple also will start becoming beautiful and it will start purifying, it will become divine. That is how you make your body divine. भाव तो लाओ. पत्थर के भीतर के भगवान छोड़ो, ये हार्ड मास का जो भगवान है, this is made first and by God. This body, this temple then goes and makes another temple which is more superior. Who made those temples, these bodies? The who is more superior? Can temples create themselves? Can temple maintain themselves? You need human beings. Can you maintain your temple? Yes. You can maintain yourself. Temple cannot maintain itself. 4 हफ्ते उसमें पुजारी नहीं आया तो खंडित हो जाता है. 4 महीने नहीं आया तो. If you don't do puja, if you don't do अभिषेकम, वही शिव आपका जो शिवलिंग है वो खंडित हो जाता है. Do you know there is maintenance in temple? If God is always there, ask the priest to stop. Tell nobody should go there. It's God is there, activate it. No, they will not listen. They have to go and recharge it. So all those processes of purification, Abhishekam, is a science of regenerating those energies. Prana has to be activated there through all those rituals. That is the Shastra, Agam Nigam Shastra. Does this need ritual? You sit in awareness, it is blooming. क्या रिचुअल लगेगा इसमें? नाओ ना नाओ, अवधूतों को देखो, दे डोंट इवन हैव अ बाथ. अभिषेकम नहीं करते हैं, स्वयं अभिषेकम दे डोंट डू. बट ये मंदिर उनका कभी खंडित नहीं होता. कितना भी कीचड़ भी लगने दो इस पे, खंडित नहीं होता, पवित्र रहता है. वी मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड दीज थिंग्स. अभी भी हम टेम्पल्स के बारे में क्या करने वाले? टेम्पल्स, मस्जिद, गिरजाघर तुम्हारे. The more you live in awareness, the less you're in the mind. The less you're in the mind, the less energy is needed to utilize that mind. All that energy converts, moves, and helps you in your upper movement. You can invest those energies in higher contemplation. मनन में डालो, चिंतन में डालो, श्रवण में डालो, निधि ध्यासन. Put all these energies there. Why waste on all these things? इतना तर्क 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 तर्क. बाप रे. I feel so bad. I can see that very clear, but I can't convey it to them because इतना reactive है, इतना reaction. Somebody is cocooned in their own space, and you can see they're struggling. Sleepless nights and a fatigued mind and an overthinking mind and बैटरी अब फ्यूज अब उड़ेगा ऐसा लगता है. क्यों? व्हाई आर यू किलिंग योरसेल्फ? सुनो तो सही दूसरों का, जो तुम्हारा भला चाह रहे हैं. भला ही चाह रहे भाई, और कोई वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. देयर इज नो वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट. हमारा काम ही है, इसलिए फंसते भी जाके सब. Because this field, what we are doing here, you cannot do without empathy. That is why we are called as empaths. We are very sensitive people, very energy sensitive, emotionally sensitive. We can cry on the drop of a hat. We can laugh at the drop of a hat. We can cry at the drop of the hat. Very sensitive. We can feel energy of in and around in the body, around the body. We can feel others' energies. We can feel others' thoughts. We are very, very vulnerable and sensitive to what people think, what people say, the vibrations. That is why empaths like us keep ourselves away from society. We don't mingle much. We are sensitive beings. We get hurt very fast. That comes from the quality of empathy. Empathy means you want to help others. You can sense the pain of others like this. Empaths usually cannot differentiate their own pain and others' pain. Most of the time, empaths live in a pain which is not theirs. Do you know that? Because that sensitivity is so strong, you cannot understand it whether it is somebody's thoughts or somebody else's pain. Somebody else is suffering somewhere, and you can feel that. The world is suffering, you can sense it. So sensitivity आती है इसमें. It becomes very, very sensitive. The subtlety जैसे आती है, वैसे sensitive you become very sensitive. But we have to protect ourselves. Protection is needed. हमारे पास है अपने अपने औजार है. We have weapons to do that. Otherwise we cannot survive in this world. नोच के खाएंगे दुनिया. There is a level of sensitivity, there is a level of innocence, there is a level of easily trusting anybody. You can't, because you fail to judge, you fail to evaluate everything, everybody. You're not scrutinizing. Oh, लगता नहीं है, मन नहीं लगता. So it's easy to submit, and advantage can be taken off. Oh, मेरा जिंदगी इसी में गया. That is why I put profile में ना, be useless, so that nobody can use you. People come use घंटी बजा के जाते हैं. In all fields of life, all areas of life, I've seen this. Society also, because there what happens is subconsciously people who have vested interests also, or who think more about themselves. There are two types. Empath ka opposites, there are many other energies. उसमें एक narcissist भी आता है. Narcissist तो चलो extreme. I don't like using that word because that's also not very good term. Narcissists are people who just feed on others' energies. They don't generate anything for themselves. They want that. They want attention. They want to stick on to people. They want to hold on to people. They simply are like psychic vampires. They constantly need to hold on to this world, something or the other. ये नहीं तो वो नहीं तो वो, ये बकरा नहीं तो वो, उधर से उधर, इधर से उधर. They need something or there, some source of supply, because they are not generating it themselves, because their mind शांत नहीं है. Many of us are empaths, sensitive people. I know many of you are. That is why I was trying to teach that cord cutting and psychic protection and things like that. It's needed. Very much needed in this world. Otherwise, you'll be drained out. Your own people will eat your energy. Immediate. You have to be very cautious. Or you become a scapegoat, black sheep. You generate your energy and keep distributing it to everybody. दम है तो करो, that's not a problem. But if you have the capacity to do it, but if you feel no, it's too much, then you need to protect. You need to be very wary. Empaths don't go to crowded places. They don't like crowded places. They don't like noise. They don't like parties. They don't like picnics. They don't like public. They prefer to be in isolation. They prefer to be where it is silent. Why? Because somehow they know they'll get drained. But if you know how to protect your energy, then you can go. If you know how to be protective of your space without allowing, those are your own boundaries. You create your own boundaries. Nobody can penetrate into that. Nothing can penetrate. It makes you should make it so strong. Don't ask me how to do that and all. If you want, get into webinars. ये techniques नहीं है. You have to get into that space and do all those things. थोड़ा काम है उसमें. I know that is pending. One of our webinars where the Bhava Sharira we were doing, I told you guys that we'll do that. That day I was supposed to do psychic protection and all that. Like we went into Bhava Sharira and that zone of love and this. You don't want to come back into this mind and do this bullshit. Card cutting and protection and all that. It's so weird. And I'm telling you, that zone of the higher intellect, that strong space of higher consciousness, that is so powerful कि वही आपका protection है. That's a godly state because the frequency is very high. There you are automatically guarded. You don't need anything. When you come to the mind, when you're living more in this mind and lower mind and all that, then you need those kind of things. Otherwise, if you can keep yourself in those high ecstatic states, then that itself is your protection. वहाँ तो कुछ करना नहीं पड़ता. इसलिए that day we failed. That webinar, we were trying to do that and we went into that. Whole Bhava Sharira, we were in that only. Samadhi, Dhyan and Samadhi, that webinar. Last time what we did. So I know that one is pending. We will do that session maybe tomorrow, day after. This week, we will not do anything with the deep ones. Maybe in weekend, we will start. That April and May, I want to just go deeper into those programs where we are going to the soul level. But at the same time, I'll keep one or two clarity sessions because we need the world also, right? We are not sannyasis. And it's not needed. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not needed. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate. You can be in this world, you can be fully involved in this world, you can freak out in this world, but it's your switch, the shifting switch. You must know how to switch in and off. Last time retreat, you saw how much time it takes. Not even 2 minutes to go directly into samadhi. But you must be in that space. Here, we might not immediately because there are so many things to settle down. But in retreats, what happened? Here, everything is settled down so much that we come and sit and we say, Bhuta Akasha, become aware of the Bhuta Akasha and dissolve it. You know the process, how to dissolve it. And within a few seconds, 30, 40 seconds, the Bhuta Akasha disappears. Then Chitta Akasha appears, mind space. Then your thoughts and all those things. Then we say, dissolve that also. You know how to dissolve it. In a few seconds, in a minute or so, that also. The moment that drops, you're in Chitta Akasha, blank. You might not even know what is that. Don't underestimate all these things. It's not easy to get into samadhi that way. But that's not coming by a method, that's coming by your consistent practice, your dedication, what you have dedicated all these years. ये waste नहीं गया कुछ भी. Whatever you have done, you have developed that. Now see how easy it is. But at the same time, I'm telling this on and off must be there because otherwise you can get zonked off. If you are only practicing the spiritual awareness all the time, and let's say 80% awareness you are remaining, then your three chakras will get activated. Upar wala, niche ka, it will not be active. You will have very difficulties in grounding. You cannot be a practical person then. Then you will get complaints from your world. Not paying attention at home, not paying attention in the office, you're not doing a job properly, you're not running your family properly. All those things will complaints will start coming then. They will be zonked out all the time. You'll be spacey all the time. Memory loss, याद नहीं है, absent mindedness. That's not what we are talking about. That is all to be done when your worldly stuff is over. Whose time pe Vanapra's time and all what you call. And everything is done and nothing more to do. Then you sit and zonk off. Who wants? Who cares? Now you can practice. Now you practice. Whenever you want, you can deepen it. That's all. Now you practice at least 50% awareness. 50% awareness, 50% in the mind. Or even if it comes to 90% also fine. But what I'm telling is don't disconnect. You have less awareness, okay. But awareness should be consistent. That should be your practice. 10% ही सही होना चाहिए. It should not get cut off. We don't do that way. We get cut off. कहीं चटका लगा फिर then suddenly आ जाता है where is awareness, shift into awareness. Don't go to the extremes and try to shift it. Practice in such a way when problems are there or happiness is there or whatever is there, still choose awareness. Be aware. Be aware means be just be aware of yourself, surroundings. That should develop slowly into the knowing of being aware that I'm not this body. It should come till there. All the time it should be there, I'm not this body. I am the presence living in it. That is the protocol here. You have that ज्यादा कुछ करना नहीं है यहाँ पे. All these things that we do, webinar and all this, to remove obstacles and all that, good. But the simple agenda is this. Start with simple awareness. Be conscious about yourself and your surrounding. Be more conscious subjectively about your inner world, what's happening in my mind, what's happening in my body, than being bothered about what's happening in others' bodies, in others' minds. What are they up to? We might say, no, I'm related to them. Hey, related to them, but you will spoil that relation. If you're all the time just analyzing people, who will like it? If you keep pointing out all the time that errors, 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 who will like it? Nobody will like it. You're going to have problems. And when you get problems, then again your mind will go like mad. You have to handle that person. छेड़ क्यों रहे हो उनको? I told you yesterday, right? Everybody has a dark side. Why do you want to go and poke it everywhere there? That will eradicate. They will also eradicate. Patience is needed for all that, right? When my flaws are there, it is taking so much time for it to go, then others also will go. So what I see is I see the good in me, I see the good in others, good in the world. That's it. Simple. How? Awareness. With the mind, you cannot do this. With the mind, you cannot see, no, no, I'll not judge anybody. I'll think only good. Try it. Nahi hota. Mind will play new games. You have to rise above the mind. That's the awareness. So awareness practice, when you keep on moving again and again, that strengthens up. Over a period of time, it will strengthen if there is consistency and persistence. हमारा ऐसा नहीं है. हम लोग एक हफ्ता किए फिर 4 महीना गायब. Then we don't know about it. Then again एक मौका आया. ये नहीं होता. You will never get a grip on it. As though you're doing a favor on this world, or you're doing a favor on yourself, or you're doing a favor on God by being aware. It's not about favor. It is your sole agenda to know that you are not the body. You have come here to realize that I am not this body. Or what we do everything apart from this. I am telling you, that's a total failure in spirituality. आप तपस करो, एक टांग पे खड़े रहो, चक्र घुमाओ, यंत्र तंत्र मंत्र सब गले में डालो, बपी लहरी जैसा घूमो. You do whatever you want, but until you get rid of this bhavaroga and this understanding that I am not this body, until you become aware of it, ये कुछ हाथ नहीं आने वाला तुम्हारा. I can openly tell you this. लिख के दे सकता हूँ. Let's meet after 20 years if I'm there. Try all your practices. Those practices are useless without awareness again. Everything needs awareness. So I am telling you very simple ways instead of going through all this stuff. Because the end result is that I have to realize that I'm not this body, I'm the presence. All your sufferings will vanish like this. All your problems are because of the body consciousness. I am this body, phaso. Then all your moha, your attachment, your sufferings with them, everything comes from that one problem. You believe that you are the body and you don't want to give it up. If you cannot give that up, your mind will haunt you, all these kind of worldly problems, all these, I'm telling you, 90% of your sufferings come from this strong, I'm this body. It's simple, but people don't want to give up that because there is so much of fun in having this I identity, living as something. Those who experiment with it and see, you will come to know that it's possible. But innocence is सरल हृदय कृपया बताइए. Innocence is सरल हृदय. हाँ हाँ, सरल हृदय अच्छा वर्ड है. सीधे साधे उसको इनोसेंस बोलते हैं. आई सी मेनी ऑफ अस हियर आर वेरी इनोसेंट. कोई भी तुम्हारा जिंदगी में आके मंदिर का घंटा बजा के जा सकता है और तुम देखते रहोगे. पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि घंटा बजाया है तुम्हारा. यू नॉट इवन नो. कोई बजा के चला गया. उसके लिए भी अवेयरनेस चाहिए, राइट? बजा के चला गया पता लगने के लिए भी उतना ये है. सो सरल हृदय इज गुड, बट बेवकूफी है. मैं यहाँ सीधे सीधे आपको बता रहा हूँ. इस दुनिया में वही पिटते हैं, वही लूटते हैं जिसका हृदय सदल सरल है. मार्क माय वर्ड्स. हु हैव very simple hearts, simple minds, innocent hearts, they are looted in this world, by the world. Mark my words. I can emphasize this all my life. So, it is not wise. ज्यादा कुछ अच्छी बात नहीं है. सरल हृदय लेके चलो. सरल हृदय केवल भगवत प्राप्ति के लिए, फॉर रियलाइजेशन ऑफ गॉड. सरल हृदय दुनिया प्राप्ति में नहीं काम करता. इफ यू वांट टू विन दिस वर्ल्ड, वर्क इन दिस वर्ल्ड, तुम्हारा सरल हृदय काम नहीं करेगा. दैट डजंट मीन यू पोल्यूट योर हार्ट. यू कीप इट प्योर, बट दुर्गा को जागृत करो. दुर्ग, यू नो व्हाट इज दुर्ग, राइट? दुर्गा इज व्हाट? दुर्ग, फोर्ट, fortress. Durga is the symbolic meaning of fortress, protection. You have to have your own fort. सरलता को काहे को चेंज कर रहे हो? हाउ टू चेंज द सरलता? यू कैनॉट चेंज योर सरलता. दैट्स योर प्रकृति. सरलता को चेंज करने की बात नहीं कर रहे, सरलता को प्रोटेक्ट करने की बात कर रहे हैं. प्रोटेक्ट योर इनोसेंस. अदरवाइज इट विल बी यूज्ड अप. पीपल विल मेक यूज ऑफ इट. हाउ मतलब क्या? इतनी देर से क्या सुन रहे हो आप? फिर ध्यान है कि नहीं आपका यहाँ पे? व्हाट आर यू लिसनिंग? क्या आपको लग रहा है एक टोटका मारूं वो वही आ जाएगा? चलो, प्रोटेक्ट करो. एक यंत्र डाल दो गले में, हो जाएगा दुर्ग तुम्हारा. यही सुनना चाहते हैं? इजी है, फास्टेस्ट. यंत्र को लटकाओ गले में. इजीएस्ट. क्योंकि ये थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है ना, अवेयरनेस. रिमेन इन अवेयरनेस में बोल रहा हूँ. रेज योर कॉन्शियसनेस बोल रहा हूँ. उस स्पेस में ज्यादा रहो बोल रहा हूँ. दैट्स अ कनेक्टेड स्पेस. वो थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है. एक यंत्र लटकाओ गले में. इजीएस्ट. पहले लेट अस नॉट अज्यूम वी आर सरल. यू हैव टू एनालाइज इट ऑल्सो वेरी केयरफुली, whether I'm सरल. यंत्र लटकाओ बोले तो एक भाग गया. यंत्र के फैन. कुछ नहीं होने वाला. इसमें यही होता है. व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड दीज थिंग्स सो सिंपल. हमको पकड़ नहीं आता. आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग, sharpen awareness, strengthen awareness. What is awareness? You have, I have told it, even in Shiva Sutras it is there. Bhairavi is uninterrupted awareness. Bhairavi is not a mother sitting outside that you are putting a photo and waving it. Yes, that's your bhava, you can do that. But Bhairavi is you, your awareness, which is uninterrupted. Uninterrupted मतलब एक क्षण भी रुकता नहीं है. वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ ना आपको. It should become constant, your awareness, your presence all the time. That when it is enhanced so much, when it does not interrupt, उसमें बाधा नहीं आता. कॉन्स्टेंटली अगर आपका अवेयरनेस जागृत रहे, फुल फ्लेज भैरवी जागृत है आपके अंदर. वही भैरवी इज द प्रोटेक्टर. दैट भैरवी प्रोटेक्ट्स यू. So it's simple as that. It's all coming to awareness. I am not giving any new टोटकास. प्रोटेक्शन के लिए एक अलग है, इसके लिए एक अलग साधना है, उसके लिए वो मार्केट नहीं बिछाना है यहाँ पे. इट्स ऑल वन ओनली. Strengthen your awareness, From that awareness, you can bloom, you can creatively use that same energy, that awareness into different aspects of life. लेकिन बेसिकली पहले वो तो करो। हम मैं जो इतने सालों से चीख रहा हूँ, वो करने को हम तैयार नहीं है। हम सिर्फ टोटके ढूंढ रहे हैं। भैया उसके लिए क्या करें, ये एक प्रॉब्लम है, उसके लिए क्या करें, अलग है क्या, वो सब अलग है क्या, इट इज ऑल स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम हियर ओनली। ये अगर चंगा है, आपका स्ट्रांग है, तो सब कुछ हो जाएगा। उसके बाद उसको कैसे निहारना है, वी कैन डिस्कस, बट लेकिन ये तो करो। ये बड़ा सिंपल लगता है, ये क्या भैया, हम क्या सुबह शाम ये करके बिकम अवेयर ऑफ दिस। कभी घुटनों पे अवेयर हो रहे हैं, कभी बॉडी पे अवेयर हो रहे हैं, लुकिंग एट द साउंड से थोड़ा बोरिंग लगता है। तो देन आई विल गिव यू गाइडेड मेडिटेशन वेयर यू कैन कमांड द मदर, गो हियर दो देयर, मजा आता है वो थोड़ा, क्योंकि थोड़ा कुछ करे ऐसा लगता है अपने को। या फिर लटकाओ एक यंत्र, या फिर चिपकाओ इन द हाउसेस, या फिर मंदिर भागो। And here I'm telling everything. When I say your temple, this body is your temple. Through your awareness only you can feel it. Is there any other way? बताओ, और कोई तरीका है? आपको भीतर का जो ऑल्टर है, आपका गर्भगृह, गर्भगृह के भीतर जो राम है, जो भी इष्ट है, आपके भीतर आपके राम आप होके रहते हैं। आपको ध्याओ, आपको भजो। कैन यू डू इट एनीथिंग अदर देन अवेयरनेस? इज देयर एनी अदर मेथड? नो, यू हैव टू यूज अवेयरनेस even to realize your body is the temple and the God is within. Awareness is there in all the aspects. अभी इतना भी प्रोग्राम्स में कर रहा हूँ पिछले 2 साल से, सब में अवेयरनेस है कि नहीं? Titles will keep changing, but are we not using the basic awareness in everything? So we have to understand that the same awareness will take you to the final, even I amness जो है, और even the who am I, जो मनोनाश की प्रक्रिया है, all that will come from that only. ठीक है, तो चेंज कुछ भी नहीं करना है, सरल है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, सरलता को प्रोटेक्ट करो, लेकिन डोंट गेट ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट विद दैट सरलता ऑल्सो, नहीं तो एक सरल सरल ईगो आना शुरू हो जाएगा। हम तो बड़े सरल हैं, दुनिया ही चालाक है, वो एक अलग नया टेंशन है। इट इज बेटर नॉट टू नो ऑल्सो समटाइम्स दैट वी आर इनोसेंट। वो एक अलग भाव शुरू हो जाता है, फिर विक्टिम होना शुरू हो जाता है, विक्टिम मेंटालिटी आ जाता है, हम तो क्या करें यार, कोई भी आके कुछ भी कर जाता है। नो, एक्चुअली डिस्कस ही नहीं करना चाहिए सब्जेक्ट, सरलता वरलता का। इरा पर भैया, लुटने के लिए है क्या? इंटेलेक्चुअली ओनली, हाँ हाँ, बोलने के लिए डायलॉग बहुत अच्छा है, जब छिन जाता है ना तो पता चलता है लूटने के लिए क्या क्या है हमारे पास। हम अभी बोल सकते हैं लूटने के लिए क्या है, और बगल में रखा हुआ पेन अगर कोई उठा लेके, ओए ये सब पोएटिक अच्छा लगता है। बहुत कुछ है छीनने के लिए हमारे पास, आपको पता नहीं अभी तक। बहुत कुछ है छीनने के लिए, बहुत कुछ छुपाया दबाया रखा है हमने, हमने ध्यान नहीं दिया उस चीज पे। इंटेलेक्चुअल तो छीन नहीं सकता, इंटेलेक्चुअल कैसे छीन सकता है? इंटेलेक्चुअल तो, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी कैन नॉट बी स्टोलन अंटिल यू पुट इट आउट योरसेल्फ। आपके भीतर जो है, कोई नहीं छीन सकता। छीन सकता है, दैट्स द सटल स्पेस, लाइक योर एनर्जीज कैन बी स्टोलन, वो भी आपका एनर्जी है। स्टोलन इन द सेंस व्हाट, somebody can use it, I mean you can, विदाउट योर परमिशन नहीं होता ये सब चीजें, आपका परमिशन लगता ही है। अगर कोई साइकिक वैम्पायर भी है, ऐसा नहीं है कि आप बैठे हो घर पे और कोई आके आपको अटैक कर दिया, ऐसे ही नो, यू हैव, इट इज अ टू वे कम्युनिकेशन। आपका उनके साथ कोई नाता है तो ही कनेक्शन जुड़ता है, नहीं तो यू आर ऑलरेडी प्रोटेक्टेड, विदाउट एनीथिंग इंट्रूजन नहीं होता, कहीं ना कहीं सबकॉन्शियसली यू आर कनेक्टेड विद देम। कुछ तो लेन देन का चक्कर है। forget them thinking of you, even if you are missing somebody, if you are deeply thinking about somebody, हो गया, आपने लगा दिया कॉर्ड उधर, एंड शुरू हो गया। So protecting your space means being aware of what am I doing. Many, most of these things जो हम बोलते हैं, psychic attacks and ये, we are not aware of what we are doing. We are not aware that I am the Atman. If you are fully aware of your presence, वो सब होने का चांस ही नहीं है। If you are aware of you yourself as a presence, you carry an aura. आपको हमेशा उसका बोध होता है कि I am this present. That presence itself is your protection aura. If you are in your presence, nobody can intrude there. If you come to your mind, शुरू हो जाता है. Mind ही सबका कारण है. सब शुरू करता है वहीं से. Mind does all these things. आप जो भी बोलो, माइंड बोलो, एक्सपीरियंस बोलो, कुछ भी बोलो, चिनने के लिए मैं इतना बोल रहा हूँ, बहुत कुछ है हमारे पास. सबसे बड़ा पोजीशन हमारा शरीर है. चिनने देंगे क्या इसको? मन भी है हमारा पोजीशन. चिनने देंगे? वी डू वी अलाउ एनीबडी टू कनेक्ट विद आवर माइंड? इफ आई टेल आई बिकम अवेयर ऑफ योर माइंड नाउ, will you like it? Will not like it. Immediately there will be different. We protect everything because we carry this identity and this body, mind, intellect. In the presence when you don't have possessions. उस समय में आपको ये सब नहीं होता. उस समय में चिन्हने के लिए कुछ नहीं रह सकता. Agreed. At that moment, but it's a temporary moment. We keep coming on that. One more question was there. I think it was on WhatsApp. Pranam Bhaiya, I wanted to ask and share and ask, is it right understanding? I was contemplating on Ashtavakra Gita course. In it, Ashtavakra says to Janaka that you try to prove yourself, your real self, with other things. So I remember asking you in retreat about having periods of silence. Is it that? You said that there is someone who is aware of that silence, you are that. So I was trying to prove myself with that silence or blissful feeling. However, the self is beyond all the experiences. All these are proven by the self, not in the literal sense, just to explain. Self is independent of all. ये आपने पूछा या बताया मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा. स्टार्टिंग में तो क्वेश्चन लगा, बाद में तो आप बता रहे हो. Yes, when we talk about I am in silence, I am this, that, I am trying to prove something there. Because there is someone who is trying to talk about that silence. What Ashtavakra is telling Janaka, Ashtavakra is giving the Brahma Gyan to Janaka in the first chapter, second chapter. And as the chapters are going, Janaka is raising his consciousness. And Janaka is now in par with his guru, Ashtavakra. And as he becomes in par in knowledge and intellectual consciousness with his guru, now he starts with that attitude. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, yeah, I know that. I know what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, I know this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He'll Guru will say half, he'll say the half. Confidence आना शुरू हो जाता है because ज्ञान थोड़ा आ गया. So it's like that level. And Ashtavakra is quiet. He's seeing that. Janaka is talking. Janaka is understanding it, but the I is still there in him. He's telling, I know this. Yes, I know that. And there, Ashtavakra is simply telling him, reminding him, good, you have got the realization, but the I is still there. And then that guy, Janaka, slowly dissolves that also. And by the end of Ashtavakra Gita, he's realized fully in the true understanding of what awareness is. That is exactly this is. So till that I is there, the subtle I or whatever, that will say it is in silence or something. And what I said, when you get into silence, there is someone that's aware of that silence. That's you. You are not the silence. You are the one who is aware of that silence. So then you say, after that, what did you say? However, the self is beyond all the experience. Good. Good that you notice that. Self certainly is beyond experience. Like I said yesterday, Shiva is beyond all experience. Shiva does not experience. He needs awareness by which he is aware, and then he has an experience through that awareness, not even through awareness. Awareness becomes aware of certain things. That is Vimarsha. Like my light. I say, become aware of your palms, for example. Hateli. When you start becoming aware of your palms, you start feeling energy moving there. Can you sense it? Can you sense? Hatelio pe energy, warm sensation. That movement, what is there? That is Shakti that is moving. Energy. So Shakti is here active. Mata idhar hi hai. Ma is prajwalit here only. Now, I am consciousness. I am light. I cannot understand this experience without awareness. Light needs awareness. Light and awareness, when it is mixed, it's a mixed tattva. It cannot be separated. Light mein awareness hai. So that awareness is becoming aware of this movement. When awareness becomes aware of the movement, that is known as experience. I am experiencing sensation. That experience is known as Vimarsha. I, the light, need awareness. I have to be aware of this. I am the light, Prakash. Soul, Atman. Atman में awareness है, तो Atman can experience this Vimarsha through awareness. You remove awareness, this is pure consciousness. That is Nirguna, Nirakara. That is Parabhairava Tattva, Parashiva. It is not aware, it has no feelings. It's simply pure consciousness. What you call as Shunya. That is why in Shunya there is no experience. Experiencer ही नहीं वहाँ पे. It's so you need an awareness to become first aware of that. That is why Shiva and Murugan. Shiva and Murugan. Murugan is awareness. Shiva is the Lord. So all that jnana that you tell about Shiva and Murugan, their connection, and Murugan is Arunachala. Ramana is known as Murugan Tattva only. He is known as the avatar of Murugan. Skanda. Skanda Ashram on Arunachala. The Arunachala is mentioned in Skanda Purana. That is Skanda Tattva. It is Murugan Tattva. Means it is awareness. Arunachala is awareness. Murugan. Without which Shiva cannot experience this world. So, that level, when you are experiencing that silence, who's it's that awareness is there. Murugan is there. Shiva and Murugan, they're there. And as you said, you pointed it right. Soul is beyond experiences. Soul is only the light without awareness. But till there is awareness, there is Vimarsha. That is known as the I amness, that state. That state is the I amness state. Beyond I amness state, only am remains. I drops. The ego drops. Subtle ego, which is just having that Vimarsha, that experiencer dies. I dies. When the I am में से I गिरता है, only am रह जाता है. होना. वो होने को aware भी नहीं है. It's not aware. That is why I say the highest in human. Yesterday I said this. Perfection जो हम बोलते हैं ना, imperfection ढूंढते रहते हैं सब में. अरे सबको क्या अवधूत बना के छोड़ोगे क्या? सारे अवधूत थोड़ी है कि आप इतना सबको एकदम प्योर. नहीं, all have flaws. And I told yesterday, even the greatest of people, they have flaws. Some flaw. What is that flaw? वो ये नहीं कि कोई दरिंदगी है उनके अंदर, वो सब. I-ness, that is a flaw. Subtle ego is there. I amness is the state of subtle ego. It is not still the most purified state, okay? Nisardat Maharaj only teaches I amness. But that is still not the purified state. You need not worry about the purified state. If you remain in I amness, that is enough. From there, nobody can go into amness. That is beyond doing. You cannot do. You cannot become Parabhairava. You cannot become. You can go to the state of I amness and remain there. And you can only wait. Then the Tivra Shaktipat happens whenever it has to happen. And then you are absorbed. That's moksha. Tivra Shaktipat of Shiva. That you cannot do. You can only put efforts to reach to the state of I am. And then after that, it is in the being. You are being. You be. No do. Doer मर गया वहां पे. You just are as you are. And when the final subtle imprints of karma also gets exhausted there, you dissolve on your own. You fade out. You look at avadutas. Why are they not striving for moksha? They cannot. They have reached that state. Now prarabdha has to exhaust on its own. The day it exhausts, they are reward. They are merged into it. Are you getting the point? So that state, when the evolution, that the merging takes place or the final dissolution takes place, there is nothing to be aware of, nothing. It is the complete state. So that is called the Atman, Paramatman state, where there is nothing to be aware of. Something to be awareness means shuru ho gaya srishti phir. One step down, you are aware, then Vimarsha, the first experience, then you call that light, sound, blah, 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 your Meru unwinds again. So that point of I amness is Bindu. Last point. Bindu is the I amness. That is the last Nada Bindu. Heard? Nada Bindu is a sound. That subtle sound is ego. I, मैं, है वहां पे. Subtle, sukshma sound. That is known as Omkara. I is there. Very, very subtle. The moment the I dissolves, Om disappears into light. That is called the annihilation of that. Only rightly means annihilation. Gaya. Sound gaya. Sound means chanchalta gayi. The I has disappeared. Only light, amness remains. That very silence. Who's there to become aware of silence? Who's there to become aware of nothingness? What is there? So that's a purified, complete state. Good that you cast that. Okay, I think we just brought some very heavy topic here. These are level 2 talks. But ठीक है, some of you who have done level 2 will understand these things better. Those who bouncers हुए, you can slowly understand these tattvas. You can see in the courses, webinars, slowly you can understand, catch a grip of what is being told. Or you can come to this retreat in July, level 1 and 2, and slowly deepen your experiences. Retreat में ज्ञान नहीं होता, ज्ञान के साथ एक्सपीरियंस दिया जाता है. रिट्रीट में 100% इट्स एक्सपीरियंस कि जो हम सीख रहे हैं आप उसको अनुभव करो. दैट इज द रीजन फॉर रिट्रीट्स. ओके, एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस? अच्छा, भास्कर जी आपका भी एक है यहाँ पे. भीतर की गुरु की आवाज को कैसे सुने, कैसे पहचाने? मौन में कुछ सुनाई तो नहीं देता मुझे, और मैं वह पहले देखता हूँ आप है कि नहीं. भास्कर जी आप हो कि नहीं? अच्छा आप है, ठीक है. फिर बोलने में मजा है, फिर नहीं तो फिर ठीक है. ठीक है, आंसर दिस लास्ट एंड देन वी कैन फाइंड आउट. भीतर के गुरु की आवाज को कैसे सुने और कैसे पहचाने? मौन में कुछ सुनाई तो नहीं देता मुझे, और वह तो एक ही हो जाता है. सही बात है. मौन यानी परावाणी की अवस्था. परावाणी में कुछ सुनाई नहीं देता. सुनाई नहीं देता उस जगह में, क्योंकि सुनने वाला और सुनाने वाला नहीं होता उसके अंदर. वो लेवल पश्यंती तक चलता है. वैखारी में हम बोलते हैं, हम सुनते हैं. अब मैं बोल रहा हूँ, कोई सुन रहा है, तो बोलना सुनना हो गया, फिजिकल हो गया. मध्यमा में माइंड हो गया टॉक्स. मन मन में चलता है, माइंड टू माइंड इंटरेक्शन. तो आप माइंड में बैठ के गुरु के साथ माइंड से वार्तालाप कर रहे हो. फिजिकली गुरु को बोल रहे हो अगर सामने गुरु है, वो फिजिकल हो गया. गुरु सामने नहीं है, नेक्स्ट लेवल मध्यमा. मन ही मन आप प्रार्थना कर रहे हो, बोल रहे हो, मन से ही आप तरंगे भेज रहे हो. दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रेयर. फिर एक स्टेज रहता है पश्यंती. पश्यंती में भाव होता है. भाव द्वारा, फीलिंग्स द्वारा आपका भाव शरीर एक्टिव है, ओनली नो टॉक्स, नो थॉट्स, जस्ट द फीलिंग, वाइब्रेटिंग थ्रू फीलिंग। वहां पे भी फीलर है, और जो आपको फील कर रहा है वो भी है, अभी भी दो है वहां, उस लेवल तक भी। तो उस लेवल तक ठीक है ये वार्तालाप जो हम बोलते हैं, यू फील समथिंग, यू सेंड आउट थ्रू फीलिंग, और वापस आपको रिस्पॉन्स भी फीलिंग में आता है। जब आप गुरु से पर्सनली बात करते हो तो आप कुछ बोलते हो तो गुरु वापस उत्तर देता है, तो दैट इज फिजिकल रिस्पॉन्स। जब मन ही मन आप कुछ बोलते हो तो मन में एक आपको विचार सुनाई देता है, यू हियर इट इन योर थॉट्स, यू कैच दैट एंड यू हैव अ कन्वर्सेशन विद गॉड और गुरु। People who write those books like Conversation with God, they are all writing from that mind level, मन ही मन। और दूसरा है भाव। भाव द्वारा आप फीलिंग, यू फील योर गुरु, यू फील योर इष्टा एंड ऑल दैट, एंड यू गेट बैक दैट रिस्पॉन्स। आपको तुरंत वो भाव आना शुरू हो जाता है कि समथिंग हैज टेकन ओवर यू, एक डिविनिटी आके आपको स्पर्श किया, कुछ तो हो रहा है, तो आपका रिस्पॉन्स वहां पे वो चल रहा है। वहां तक दो है। आप जो बात कर रहे हो परावाणी है, परावाणी में विलीन हो जाता है। परावाणी में वो इतना वन स्टेट है, दैट यू आर वन विद द गुरु, देर इज नो टू, आप ही बन गए गुरु। गुरु के चैतन्य के साथ आप एक हो गए। अभी आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि शिष्य की चैतन्य यहाँ, चेतना यहाँ है और गुरु का यहाँ है। चेतना जब दो होती है तब ये तीन लेवल चलता है, संपर्क। लेकिन जब मर्ज होता है वो परावाणी की स्टेट बोलती है। परावाणी में क्या होता है, इट इज जस्ट अ नोइंग, आभास, यू जस्ट नो। उसको डाउनलोड कहते हैं हम लोग, यू जस्ट नो। जैसे वेद लिखा गया, वेद कहाँ से लिखा गया, कोई बोलने सुनने वाला कुछ नहीं है। वो लोग बोलने के लिए बोलते हैं कि हमने कुछ सुना, सुनने को कुछ नहीं है, दे जस्ट नो। इट इज वन, गॉड एंड देम इज जस्ट वन। लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मैंने आज क्या बताया, एम्पैथ्स, वी आर एम्पैथ्स। कभी कभी हम बैठे बैठे मायूस हो जाते हैं, बैठे बैठे दुखी हो रहे हैं, बैठे बैठे एक दुख फील कर रहे हैं, बैठे बैठे परेशान हो रहे हैं, एनर्जी इम्बैलेंस हो रही है, कुछ तो कुछ हो रहा है, और हमको समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि कुछ है ही नहीं, मैंने कुछ सोचा नहीं, मैंने कुछ बोला नहीं, मैंने कुछ देखा नहीं, कुछ नहीं, सडनली मूड ऑफ क्यों हो रहा है, सडनली इतना ग्लूमी क्यों लग रहा है। मैंने किसी और के साथ मर्ज कर लिया, या किसी ने मेरे साथ मर्ज कर लिया, तो उसमें क्या हो गया, नोइंग हो रहा है, एक हो गया। अब मुझे पता नहीं ये मेरा विचार है या किसी और का विचार है। वही तो मैं आज बोला, एम्पैथ्स में ये प्रॉब्लम है हम लोगों में, कि हम ये पता नहीं लग पाता है कि ये मेरे ही विचार है या किसी और का पढ़ रहा हूं मैं, या किसी और का दर्द मुझे हो रहा है, ये अनुभव ही नहीं होता। एम्पैथ्स को ऐसा लग रहा है कि लगता है कि ये मेरा ही कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, तो वो खुद में ही ढूंढते रहते, लेकिन उनको पता नहीं है। वो एक, they have become so sensitive that they can simply merge and catch on with somebody। तो ये उस टाइप का, ये वो नहीं है परावाणी का, लेकिन मैं एक एग्जांपल देके बता रहा हूँ कि कितना कंफ्यूजन है उसमें, पता नहीं चलता। उसी प्रकार से जब गुरु के साथ शिष्य एक होता है तो गुरु कौन, शिष्य कौन, कौन बोल रहा है, कौन सुन रहा है, कुछ होता नहीं है। इट इज अ फ्लो, when you are connected to higher consciousness, and it's a flow। हम लोग बहुत यूज करते हैं अपने काम में, बिकमिंग वन एंड दैट फ्लोज। वहां कोई तर्क वर्क कुछ नहीं लगता, इट इज जस्ट अ कांस्टेंट फ्लो। इसलिए वो फ्लो में दम रहता है, वो फ्लो में एनर्जी रहती है, वो फ्लो में चेतना रहती है, वो फ्लो में लोगों की चेतना उठती है, प्रेजेंस फील होता है, दे गेट इनटू समाधि। इट इज दैट फ्लो दैट कैचेस। तो परावणी की स्थिति में सुनने लायक कुछ नहीं रहता वहां पे। तो वहां पे सुनने की चेष्टा भी आप नहीं कर सकते हो, क्योंकि आप ही नहीं हो वहां पे, आप तो एक हो गए वहां पे। उस स्थिति में एक चीज क्या मिसिंग होती है, अवेयरनेस। वही हम सीख रहे हैं यहाँ पे, अवेयरनेस। जैसे मैंने पहले भी आपको ही बताया था कि हमको अवेयर रहना है समाधि का। एक होता है कि समाधि में हम बेहोश हो गए, वो तो बहुत नॉर्मल है, हम चले जाते हैं, फिर ब्लैंक हो जाता है, कुछ पता ही नहीं चलता। वो तो हम सुषुप्ति में भी हो जाते हैं, रात को जब नींद निद्रा में जाते हैं, गहरी सुषुप्ति में, वहां पे भी बेहोश ही रहते हैं। उसी को, उसको भी समाधि ही बोलते हैं। जो रात को हम सोते हैं वो भी सुषुप्ति है, और हमारा जो ध्यान वाला समाधि है वो भी सुषुप्ति है, कोई अंतर नहीं है, दोनों भी स्लीप है। समाधि भी स्लीप ही है, ये भी वो स्लीप ही है। स्लीप क्यों बोलते हैं उसको, निद्रा क्यों, सुषुप्ति ही बोले तो डीप स्लीप। तो समाधि भी अज्ञानता की अवस्था है। समाधि इज नॉट ऑन दैट लेवल, व्हेन यू गो डीप इनटू दैट लेवल, आपको पता चलेगा कि समाधि को भी कोई बड़ा ये नहीं देते। रमणा महर्षि एंड ऑल, दे डोंट गिव एनी इंपॉर्टेंस टू समाधि। वो बोलते हैं कि आप हजारों साल निर्विकल्प समाधि में भी रहो, वासनाओं को नहीं मारोगे। वासना तो रहेगी उसके अंदर फ्लोट करते हुए, 2000 साल बाद भी वापस आओ, वासना तो रहेगी। तो आपकी समाधि भी आपका फायदा नहीं है बोलते हैं। रमणा एंड ऑल गिव दैट काइंड ऑफ टॉक्स, क्योंकि वो भी एक बेहोशी की अवस्था है। तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं अभी? हम अपने आप को जागृत करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं तीनों अवस्था में, जागृत में भी, स्वप्न में भी, सुषुप्ति में भी। सुषुप्ति में जगना ही हमारा तपस्या है, हमारा गोल यही है। सुषुप्ति चाहे ये नींद वाला सुषुप्ति में जागृत रहे या फिर आपका समाधि में जागृत रहे, उस समाधि में जब आप जागृत रहते हो परावाणी की स्थिति में, तो नोइंगनेस का आभास होता है आपको। तो वो जो नोइंगनेस है ना, एक जो पता है, पता होना, वो पता होना शुरू हो जाता है। नहीं तो क्या होता है, डाउनलोड तो होता है लेकिन आपको पता नहीं चलता। जैसे कई सारे वेबिनार्स में या रिट्रीट्स में लोग बहुत गहरा जाते हैं, एंड देन दे टेल भैया आप तो बात कर रहे हो समझ नहीं आता, एक 15 मिनट बाद आई कैन हियर यू समवेयर लाइक अ डिस्टेंस, आपकी आवाज आती है, फिर चला जाता है, फिर आता है, फिर चला जाता है, एंड देन फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम दिस हैपेंस, एंड देन दे से आफ्टर दैट, भैया कुछ समझ में ही नहीं है आपने क्या बोला। मैं बोल रही ये समझाने वाली बात थोड़ी है। हम थोड़ी यहाँ वार्तालाप कर रहे हैं, ये मन मन की बात नहीं है, छोड़ो इन सब चीजों को, चेतना जानती है। आपने क्या सुना, आपने क्या डाउनलोड किया, आपकी चेतना को जानती है। आप वहां सजग नहीं थे, सजग नहीं थे, इसलिए आप यू डिड नॉट हैव अ ट्रांजैक्शन, यू डिड नॉट कैच व्हाट्स हैपनिंग देयर, बट इट इज हैपेंड। तो इन समाधि ऑल्सो लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स गेट डाउनलोडेड इन अस, यू डोंट नो। समाधि छोड़ो, हर रोज सब लोग स्वप्न में चले जाते हैं। एवरी सिंगल डे एवरीबडी एंटर्स इनटू स्लीप, बट यू आस्क पीपल, वो बोलेंगे नहीं कल तो मैंने सपना नहीं देखा, परसों देखा था। इम्पॉसिबल, कल भी देखा आपने, आप सजग नहीं थे वहां पे, स्वप्न में अवेयरनेस नहीं था। जहां पे भी स्वप्न में अवेयरनेस होता है यू रिमेम्बर इट। तो हर सपने में नहीं होता, आप ध्यान देके देखो। तो उसका मतलब सपने में भी नींद में है, एक निद्रा, सपने में भी वो निद्रा में चले गए, वहां अवेयरनेस नहीं है। तो हमारा ये शिफ्टिंग इनटू अवेयरनेस का पूरा फोकस यही है कि जागृत अवस्था में इसको जागृत करो पूर्ण, क्योंकि कोई तरीका नहीं है इसको स्वप्न और सुषुप्ति में जाके जागृत करने का, तरीका है ही नहीं, कहीं किसी के पास है ही नहीं, इट्स इम्पॉसिबल। यही हमको जागृत करना है। इसलिए ये जितना हम प्रबल करते जाएंगे, 24/7 जैसा आते जाएगा, वो धीरे धीरे स्वप्न में एंटर करना शुरू करेगा, फिर वहां से सुषुप्ति में एंटर करना शुरू करेगा। फिर उसके बाद जब भी हम ध्यान समाधि में जाएंगे, वो प्रैक्टिस जो प्रबल हुआ है अवेयरनेस, वो वहां पे भी स्थित होना शुरू हो जाएगा। दैट इज त्रिपुरा रहस्य। ये जो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ सिंपल त्रिपुरा रहस्य का ही पूरा ही है। 3 स्टेट्स ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस में जब आते हैं, और पूरा जब त्रिपुरा, त्रिपुरा कौन है? माँ ललिता त्रिपुर सुंदरी। ये 3 स्टेट ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस में जब आपकी भैरवी, जब आपकी चेतना, चित्त शक्ति जब जागृत रहती है फुल, व्हेन इट कॉन्कर्स द 3 सिटीज, दैट इज त्रिपुरा रहस्य, द सीक्रेट ऑफ द 3 सिटीज, फुलफिलिंग इट। वो स्थिति जब साधक पहुंचते हैं, तो वो परा, एक है ना अपरा, देन परापरा एंड परा। अपरा इज जब मेरु बाहर होता है, श्री चक्र बाहर होता है, और बाहर आपका माँ बाहर है, माँ ललिता त्रिपुरी सुंदरी कहाँ है? मेरु के अंदर छुपी हुई है आपके लिए। दैट इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप, इट इज कॉल्ड एज द लोएस्ट प्रैक्टिस ऑफ श्री विद्या, लोएस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ वर्शिप ऑफ माँ ललिता त्रिपुर सुंदरी। सेकंड परा अपरा, वो भीतर, आप चेतना से, अवेयरनेस से उसको भीतर लेके, वो आपका अद्वैत साधना। तो थोड़ा दो है, मैं भी हूं माँ भी है। तीसरा स्टेट जो है परा स्टेट में, मैं ही माँ ललिता त्रिपुर सुंदरी, आई एम ललिता त्रिपुर सुंदरी, दैट इज द फाइनल कल्मिनेशन ऑफ श्री विद्या। तो when do I become ललिता त्रिपुर सुंदरी? when I am fully aware in the 3 states of consciousness, तीनों स्टेट में वही त्रिपुरा रहस्य है, उसलिए त्रिपुरा ललिता त्रिपुरा सुंदरी। तो इन दैट स्टेट व्हाट वी आर टेलिंग, ये पूरा वहीं जा रहा है। तो हमको ज्यादा उसमें वहां जाके कुछ नहीं कर सकते हम लोग। कि वहां हमें सुनाई क्यों नहीं दे रहा है। सुनाई नहीं देगा, वो सुनाई देने की आवश्यकता भी नहीं है। हमको सिर्फ यहाँ जागृत अवस्था में जितना हो सके प्रैक्टिस करना है। वो जब वो स्ट्रेंथन होते जाएगा, वो ऑटोमेटिक आपको समाधि में, वो जब आप प्रवेश करते हो वो अवेयरनेस आपको आना शुरू हो जाएगा। समाधि में जाके आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, जागृत में ही उसको प्रबल करते प्रैक्टिस करते करते ये करना है। होप आई आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन। ओके जी, थैंक यू। Okay, we have a last question here. Hi, when we become aware of a body part, say palm, for example, the one experience that awareness is the ego, right? Like awareness is aware of that, but the one experiencing is the ego. Obviously, जो भी experiencer है at any level, from the gross, like ये जो बोल रहा है ये ego है, ये जो सुन रहा है वो ego है, ये जो चल रहा है, any action, anything you do is ego. It goes till you become very subtle, even the subtlest knowing in the I amness. ये तो हो गया पाम को एक्सपीरियंस करना, वो भी ईगो ही है। बिकॉज ईगो मीन्स व्हाट? अ सेपरेट आइडेंटिटी। व्हेन लाइट एंटर्स इनटू द माइंड बॉडी और मन को प्रकाशित करता है, एक भाव आता है कि मैं मन हूं, मैं शरीर हूं। उसको ईगो कहते हैं। ये गलत फहमी को, मैं शिव हूं बट आई स्टार्ट फीलिंग मैं मन हूं, मैं ये शरीर हूं। दैट इज व्हाट आई सेड, नो, ऑल आर प्रॉब्लम, 90% प्रॉब्लम कम्स व्हेन आई एम शरीर, व्हेन आई से। So when I am more in that, or this feeling of I am something else other than the divine, I am nothing वाला फीलिंग छोड़ के जो भी कुछ आता है वो सब ईगो ही है, ईगो में ही आता है। So even the subtleness that I am a yogi, I am a monk, I am a guru, I am a saint, वहां तक भी I am a sannyasi, I am a vairagi, I am a samadhist, that is also subtle ego. That experience of that samadhi, the experiencer of that samadhi also is ego, subtle ego. So when that experiencer dies, the ego dies, or the ego dies, the experiencer dies. So ego is there till the final level. इसलिए हम बोलते हैं ना, वो प्रैक्टिकल नहीं है हम बोलने की कि इसमें ईगो चला गया, ये परफेक्ट रहता ही है। Yesterday that is what I was trying to explain. Everybody has imperfection and ego is an imperfection. That is your आनंदमय कोश। आनंदमय कोश जब तक है, ईगो है। Okay, that's clear. Okay, chalo. Then it's late, too late today. So we'll end this session. I'll put this whole session in YouTube also tomorrow so that you can refer. Anybody wants to refer it again. Full unedited I'll put so that others also can benefit. We'll end it with a short prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamidayachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all be blessed. May we all evolve. May we all be free. Arunachala bless all.